I hide everything and I only wear black nail polish. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and what you can see by the title is my eyeshadow palette collection. I filmed a collection and declutter not that long ago. However, I feel like my palettes have gotten a little bit out of control. I know compared to quite a lot of people on YouTube, my collection is not that big, but I still feel personally overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have, and I don't know, it's almost suffocating when I look in the store and I'm like, what do I actually use today? And it means that palettes get forgotten, they never get used, blah 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 blah. I'm going to show you what I have. So this is my backdrop. You'll probably recognize it. Didn't dust it, probably should have. This is the IKEA Malm drawers. It's one of those big double ones, 6 drawers, and this drawer here holds my palettes. It's very heavy to open, so yeah, we're gonna look through what I've got. I'm probably not going to declutter in this video, but there might be some palettes that I get rid of, who knows. And honestly, I think we should just dive in and just hope for the best. So we might as well start at the top. I'll pick this one out first because this is one of the newest ones to my collection. This is the Lick and Lash Playful palette. This is from my last haul. Oh, I'm in my jammies, look at me. So yeah, this is from my last haul, and this palette is beautiful and I had to not get rid of it. And considering I got rid of every other eyeshadow palette that I got in that haul, which was like 9, I only kept 1. So that is that. That's that on that. This one is my favourite palette in my collection. It's the Dose of Colours Friendcation palette. How have I not hit pan on any of these shades? I'm very close to doing it on this blue one. Let's be real. This is the most beautiful palette in the world. It just is, and you can't tell me any different. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful in your life? Probably not, and I'd understand. So yeah, this was expensive, but wholly worth the price. Then on top, I've got the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop Zodiac palette. Honestly, I bought this for this shade here. I have reached for this palette maybe twice in my life. It's nice, it's good quality, but it's so neutral apart from like these 2 blues, and this purple is very pretty as well. But I mean, realistically, I don't need it, but I'm trying to have a big Colourpop collection, which is such a stupid reason, but anyway, I have this. I've got a few more Colourpops and they're all quite near the top. This is the Double Entendre palette. They sent me this one. You probably know me by now, wouldn't have bought it. It's very neutral. So yeah, I wouldn't really have picked up this palette, and I'm probably going to give it to my niece at some point, but I have like these palette display things, let me grab one, that I got on Amazon, and yeah, I've got all my Colourpops in one of these and it just feels good, gotta admit. This is my favourite Colourpop palette that I've got. This is the I Love Sarah E Through My Eyes palette, and it is the most beautiful Colourpop palette in the world. I've used this actually a lot. I'm about to hit pan on this purple and this green. I am thinking I might use this for the Stacey Marie masterclass, but I'm probably going to use her palette, just like, I'm wearing your palette on my eyes. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Look at it, look at it. Look at it. Then I have the Villains Misunderstood palette. I've actually not played with this yet, but I do really like the colours. There's some like really unique ones in here, and I do need to have a play with it. Look at the pigment. Wow. Wow. That green is beautiful. So yeah, I need to play with this, but I don't, because I've got too many palettes and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I did plan, by the way, on doing my top favourite palettes worth your money as a follow-up to this video here, which was my palettes I regret buying, which we'll see a few in here. I haven't decided which ones I'm going to get rid of, which ones I'm going to keep. Yes, that's my monster. It has joined us. Anyway, more Colourpop. This is the Ooh La La palette, which is the pink one. I like it. I've used it once or twice. This shimmer up in the corner is really quite special. I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera, like how unique it is, but it is a really gorgeous, gorgeous colour. But these palettes are really good and really worth your money if you want just like a one colour palette that you feel you don't already have. Like if you don't have enough pinks, get this one, do you know what I mean? It's good. I've also got, where is it? Where are they? I bought the Just My Luck one when it came out. So this is the green one. I need to just take this hair bubble off. It's really annoying me. Put it on this arm. This is gorgeous as well. I really like this centre. I'm so drawn to this like lime chartreuse kind of colour. I think it's so gorgeous. But with this palette, I feel like it goes really muddy on me. Like all the mattes just kind of blend into one shade, but the shimmers are really pretty. So that's the Just My Luck. And then this one's brand new to me. This is the Honey. Again, hauled this in my last video. It's the yellow palette. I've not even swatched this yet. Look. It is brand spanking new. And it matches these, and I don't know, that just gives me so much satisfaction. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at them. It makes me want the purple and the blue one, even though don't need them. Right, moving on, more Colourpop. And this is the Sweet Talk palette. Again, they sent this one to me. It's pretty, but it's super neutral. But I do like that it's got one of the Super Shock shadows in a palette, and then it's got two loose glitters. And this glitter's really pretty. This one's a bit meh, but it's just so neutral. But the packaging is cute, and it's Colourpop, and I'm trying to have a big Colourpop collection because that is insane. Oh, I've got another Colourpop. This is the Bretman something wet palette. I bought it because it's blue. I've never used it because I can't make one look out of this palette because it's two browns and then blues, and oh, I don't know. I've never been able to make like a really good look. I've swatched it quite a lot, but I've never actually used it. Then just here, I've got my new Huda Neons. So this is the green. I did a video on these. The makeup look came out terrible, but I was just kind of playing. So that's the green. I think this is the best packaging I've ever seen on any palette. I don't know why, it's because it's acrylic and it's like kind of see-through. I just think it is so cool. And then this is the pink one, which is Gorgina. However, it's a little hard to use on its own without having to use other palettes with it. And then, oh, this is the orange one, which I like a lot. I actually didn't use this in that video, but I do think this might be my favorite one because this lime green down here is beautiful. You know, I'm not trying to throw my palettes. I do look after my makeup very well. Naked Cherry, Urban Decay. There we are, bought that, won that, there it is. This was in my palette I regret buying video. Okay, what's this? ABH Sultry. This palette, when it came out, I played with it a few times and I really kind of tried to get a lot of use out of it, but it is, I don't know, there's something about this particular formula that I don't love. Here's my socks. Just quite as much as the other palettes. It's very cool toned as well, which I don't really go for. But there's just a huge part of my brain that won't get rid of ABH palettes. It's not a good part of my brain. It's a bad part of my brain. Again, Soft Clam. Never reached for this either. It's very neutral. You can see I have used it in the past. Like, this has been out for a while now and I really have dug in and used it quite a few times. But do I reach for it now? No. This is ABH's most recent release, the Alyssa Edwards collab palette. Used this a couple of times in my own time, but I haven't used it on my channel. Why, you ask? Dunno, just haven't. I've not felt incredible need to play with it on my channel. Pretty good quality, pretty good payoff when you use a nice primer underneath it. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Ow. Ah, yeah. So yeah, that's that palette there. Riviera, I really liked this when this launched, and I did use it quite a few times, but I don't really reach for it now because I've got too many palettes, and you're gonna hear me say that a lot. It's nice though, really like this blue up here, the pink and the purple, but there's so many colours. I just feel like it reminds me a lot of the Alyssa Edwards palette. I feel like they released those two too close together. Where's the rest of my ABHs? They're down here. Oh no, just found another Colourpop. This is the Chasing Rainbows palette, and this is beautiful. I've never used it, but it is beautiful. Look at it. I've swatched it, never used it, but it's beautiful. Shut up, Melissa. Subculture! The most argued about palette in the world, but you can see this girl liked it. Look. How many, you will not see another palette in my collection that I have hit pan on this much. Maybe Modern Renaissance, that's the only other one. I like this palette, I like it a lot. This colour down here blew me away, loved it. This mustard, gorgeous. This orange, gorgeous. Peach, it's beautiful. It is hard to work with, I'm not going to deny that, but it's worth it for this beautiful baby. And then yeah, Modern Renaissance, probably the only other one that I've hit pan on a lot. This palette was my dream come true when it launched. This was one of my first ever high-end palettes, and they actually sent it to me and I bought one. So then I did a giveaway. It was my first ever giveaway and it was very exciting. But yeah, look how much I've used Venetian Red. You can almost use it no more. So that was really well loved. Not reached for it in a very long time. I need to put my palettes on rotation. So then I've got my Norvina, which I have used a lot. I do feel there's a lot of fault with this palette. It should have had way more matte purples, considering it's purple. She's supposed to be all about the purples. And there's like 3 actual purples in here. I'm gonna stop saying purple. So there is a lot of fault with it, but it is a really nice palette and I have used it a lot. I feel like ABH palettes get really, really messy. I don't know if you guys find that as well, or maybe I just am quite messy with my palettes, but yeah, there we go. And then last up, Prism. This one didn't really get that much, talked about that much. Wow, I didn't realize I've actually hit pan on so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've hit pan on 8 shades. This color, everything, absolutely everything. Put down like a little bit of concealer on your inner corner and then pat this on top. Your dreams will come true, I promise. Then I've got some more Hudas. This is Desert Dusk. Used this a lot when it came out. I really enjoyed this palette, even though it is predominantly neutrals, but I really enjoyed it. Spent a lot of money on this bad boy. What was that, £56 per palette? And then I've got the OG Huda palette. This is the Rose Gold palette. I just very, very recently got sent the remastered version, but I just put that in my like huge giveaway box over there because I enjoy this palette enough that I don't feel that I need to open the remastered one and use that, because that would then just be so wasted on me, and this one would probably just never ever get touched again. I do find some fault with the shimmers at the top, quite a lot of fault, but I can make them work. But the mattes to me are fine, I really like them. So that's why I'm not gonna open the remastered one, because I enjoy this enough that I don't need to. And then last up is New Nude by Huda. And yeah, spent a fortune on this as well. And I'm pretty sure the day I bought this or the day after, I got an email from Huda Beauty PR saying we want to add you to the PR list, and then they sent me this along with a heap of other stuff, and it's like, could have saved £56, but then it meant I could do a giveaway, so I enjoyed that. I like this palette. It's quite unique. It's very pretty, but it's very light. Like if you've got a deep skin tone, please tell me, does this work on you? Because the deepest shade is this one, and it is not that dark. But I mean, the shimmers would look beautiful on a deep skin tone. I just feel like the mattes wouldn't do that much for someone with a deep skin tone. My fingers are getting gross. This is the newest launch from Makeup Revolution, apart from the Makeup by Jack collab. This is the new Foil Frenzy. I always want to call it Flawless Foils. My voice. I did honestly just wake up and start filming, which is why I can't speak. These palettes are very interesting. I feel like they swatch incredibly on your finger and they go on your eye really, really well. So I really do like them. However, if you try and swatch these on your arm, they look terrible. So I just use them by applying them with my finger onto my eye, and I find that that works the best. But yeah, that's the newest one. I do have part 1 somewhere else in my collection. Oh, I really enjoyed this one. This is the Morphe 25L. They released this for Pride Month. My only criticism of this palette was that there is no matte blues. However, I can get past that for the rest of the shades. Like this Liberation shade up here is the most incredible, like duochrome. This like grungy green down here, I love. Really beautiful shades. I think it's still available. I think they might have made it permanent. I don't know, but gorgeous, gorgeous palette. And they sent that to me actually, so thank you, Morphe. Because I don't know if you remember me saying I wasn't gonna buy it because I just can't justify more palettes, but they sent it to me. These 4 are the newest palettes by Sample Beauty. They did send them to me because, I mean, not to blow my own trumpet, but I'm friends with the owner. And the only thing is 3 of them don't have the names on the back, so I can only tell you the names of 2. This one is the Ardeur palette, which is beautiful. It's 20 bucks. Really good pigment. I've played with this once and really, really enjoyed how my makeup came out. It's very, very pretty. Did I just say it was like modern Renaissance? Because it really is. And I love it. I love the quality. I loved it. I just wore it, I think, to see my family. This one is the Rain palette. I know it just by looking at it. This is stunning as well. If you like neutrals, I don't like neutrals. Again, wore this to see my family and was like, holy guacamole. This shimmer here called Gloriana. Wow. I also love the name Gloriana because I love Victoria on Amazon Prime. So that is that one, the Rain palette. And then these 2 are the bright colourful ones, but I can't tell you which is which. So this is the one that has got many, many blues and purples. They do look quite similar, like in that respect, like these 4 look similar, but 2 are shimmers and 2 are mattes, which is very important. I think you need a matte shade in a very similar colour to your shimmer if you want to have that perfect blend. So I think what Chloe did, Chloe's the owner of Sample Beauty, was genius, to be quite honest. And then this one looks like this. This has more warm tones in it. Get the slip off. Just stay open. And this one is all mattes. So that's quite a nice rainbow palette if you're looking for that. They're all 20 bucks. You can use the code Makemeupmissa to get money off. I was gonna say not affiliated, but it is an affiliate code, so yeah. This is the Naked Petite Heat by Urban Decay. Why did I swatch this, you ask? Because I was just very excited that Urban Decay sent me a bunch of stuff, so I swatched it, and yeah, I probably shouldn't have. I'll probably give this to my sister-in-law because this palette is right up her alley. Like, I know she will adore this palette, but for me, probably won't use it, let's be real. But yeah, I lost my mind with the excitement of Urban Decay sending me something, so there we go. Naked Petite Heat. Gingerbread Spice. For anyone that, quite a few people commented saying, oh no, I can't believe you put this in your palette I regret buying video, because that's how I discovered you on YouTube. Unregretted, it's now permanent. Love it. And I will wear this again at Christmas time this year. Probably won't reach for it before then, but I'll wear it at Christmas time. Isn't it beautiful? Look at this pink. This like jewel chrome down here. I loved this palette, and I thought for Too Faced, who are notorious for releasing bad quality eyeshadow palettes, this was phenomenal. Unregretted. Then I've got my 2 remaining Jaclyn Hill Vault palettes. I gave one to my sister-in-law, and I gave one to someone else. Can't remember who. I think it was a girl at work. I think it must have been. So this is the Bling Boss, which was my favorite one out of all of them. There is some super unique shades in here. Like, well, now that I've got the 39S, not so unique, but when I got this, I was lacking purples. And these like mattes are beautiful. This like, what's it called? Ballsy Glitz and Glam. There's just something about the tones of these shimmers that tickles my pickle. They all look very similar there. But yeah, I really enjoyed that palette. And then this is the, what, Armed and Gorgeous? Yeah. And I really like this palette as well. This is one that I tried to use in my makeup roulette video that went horribly. This gold is incredible. It's beautiful. I think we don't need the green in this palette, but apart from that, I really like it. I like the quality. Come at me, bro. Palette I regret buying, 35G. Horrible palette. Yeah, so many people are really excited that it's back. I'm not. Why? It's horrible. It's terrible pigmentation. Nobody needs this palette. These are the 2 Makeup Revolution Pat McGrath dupes. So this is Earth and Stone. This is one I still have to use in a palette, and I keep getting like DMs and comments asking me to use it, and I will, I promise. I just need to do my new nude Huda comparison video first, and then we can use this. That's what that looks like. And then this is Night and Day. This is the one that I did a video on because it had blue in it. So I'm very predictable when it comes to blue eyeshadows. I think these are £12. Quite expensive for Makeup Revolution, but they are like Pat McGrath dupes and they are very good, so I can kind of understand. But would have rathered a £10 price point. This is the Makeup Revolution New Neutral, which we're going to compare to the Huda New Nude palette at some point, hopefully soon. Hopefully as soon as possible. I've not swatched it. Have I? No, I haven't even touched this palette because I want to wait for that video. So yeah, we're going to compare this one to this one. Everyone is saying it's a dupe, so we're going to test that theory. So this is my Jawbreaker, and I've kept the sleeve of this palette. I never keep palette packaging. I honestly kept this because after my first video I thought I might put this on Depop. But then I did a second video with it, I'll link them down below, and I really loved how the makeup came out. Now, is this unique in my collection? No, not at all. Did I really enjoy using it? Yeah, I did, I really did. I might still Depop it though, potentially, along with a lot of the palettes in my makeup I regret buying videos, so that's why I'm keeping this sleeve, just so I can do that if I want to do that, you know. And then, this is the Makeup Revolution Maxi Reloaded Monster Mattes. I tried to do a video using this palette, and I've probably never used a palette that is as bad as this. I have all 4 of these, but the other 3 went straight in my declutter pile because A, I didn't need them, and B, I didn't need them, and C, this was terrible. There will be some of you, don't be offended if you really love this palette, but to me it was really, really bad quality. Didn't show up on my eyes, it was really hard to blend, so that's why I hate that palette. And this actually will just go straight down here so that I know to declutter it. Although this video is not about decluttering. Right, more from the middle. Sigma Creme de Couture. I've had this for ages and I can't declutter it. This has some really incredible like pastels. If I turn it that way you can see it better. And I find that they're really great for blending out like deeper eyeshadow palettes that don't have like transition shades that I need. So like these pastel greens, this yellow, this pink. That's why I've never gotten rid of this palette, although I only reach for it for that purpose. but for that purpose, it's great. I do like it. Nabla Poison Garden. This was featured in my palette I regret buying video. This has so many bad reviews. I actually don't think I've put this on my eyes. Looking at it, it doesn't look like brush marks are actually on there. Yeah, I don't know if I've used it or just swatched it, but Nabla, I find, I quite like the quality of their palettes. And then I've got Soul Blooming, which I also regretted buying because I've never reached for it. Once or twice I have, never again. I kind of bought it because I already had the Dreamy and I wanted to collect them all. So yeah, this is the Dreamy, and she was very well loved when I first got this palette. Again, quite modern renaissance-y, which I feel like a lot of companies jumped on that bandwagon. And I like this palette. I don't regret buying this palette. Most recent Nabla, collect them all, is the Secret palette, which has a thing stuck to it, earring backer. So this is that. I've still not used this. Swatched it, not used it. Melissa. Okay, let's dig into more drugstore palettes, of which I have a lot. So this is the Revolution Forever Flawless Unconditional Love. Looks like this. They sent me all 4 and I kept 2 of them because the colour schemes were more up my street. These swatch really nicely. I've still not played with it on my eyes. And then this one is the Constellation palette, which I kept for the bright colours. And this is quite Riviera kind of vibe, in my opinion. Not used it though, so don't know if it actually is. Then we've got number 1, Tammy's number 1 palette. I like this palette. It's quite neutral, it is quite plain, but I find the quality really good. I like the mattes, and I think it's a good palette. It's £10. If you like these neutral kind of colour schemes, then go for it. And then I have the Creative Volume 1. Love the packaging. I used this once and didn't really like it. Also, the pans are absolutely tiny. Look at it compared to my fingernail. Like, they're really, really small, which is fine because hardly anyone really finishes off eyeshadows, but I didn't find this was that great of a palette, to be quite honest. Then we've got Tammy number 2. This is the Tropical Carnival. I have some issues with this palette. What is that? A bit of glue. Yeah, I've had some issues with this palette. I've done 2 videos on it. I'll try and remember to link them down below. I was also quite shocked that I hit pan on this shade so quickly. I didn't find it was as incredible as a lot of other people were saying it was. However, this top lime chartreuse colour is lovely. So yeah, it's kind of a love-hate for me. I'll use it one day and really enjoy it. I'll use it the next day and I won't. Then I have the only Carmi palette that I've got. This is the Make Magic. And this top row up here really blew my mind. Like, these shadows feel wet, and look at this colour. It is incredible. It's honestly almost like a multi-chrome. It's like pink, blue, brown. It's lovely. The mattes were fine. I wasn't blown away by them, but they were fine for Makeup Revolution quality, and yeah, I enjoyed this palette a lot when I played with it. So that's also quite a good one to get. Here is the first Foil Frenzy palette. There you go. Not that much different though, is it, to the second one? Yeah, I regret all of these. I feel like these from Makeup Revolution are not good. These are the Reloaded palettes. So this one is Provocative, and I can't open it. Oh, it's because it's still got sellotape on it. That's how much I've used it. That's what that one looks like, if you can kind of see that. Yeah, This one is a dupe of the Sultry palette, and I've still not put them head to head. I imagine the Anastasia one's going to come out on top because I feel like the formula in these like £4 palettes is not that good. But incredible dupe for the Sultry. And then this one, which I have played with and thought was one of the worst palettes I've ever played with, is the Marvelous Mattes. So this is a little sister to that huge one that's on the ground. I'm just gonna put her down there too. And then the blue one, which I bought because it's got blues in it. I've used it once and I thought it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. Yeah, there we go. I might, when I go to put these back in my drawer, declutter some, but I'm not gonna like go through and declutter when I'm just filming because it's gonna be too long. Then we move on to the original Soph. Incredible quality, £10, really good palette. I've used it a lot, but the better one is the Extra Spice. I have used this palette a lot. I've done some really good looks to this palette, you know, in my opinion, humble opinion. I just really like the quality of this palette. I love the colours. I think it is one of the best drugstore palettes. I think it is, yeah, one of the absolute best palettes you can get at the drugstore for that price point. But then another fabulous drugstore palette is the Lottie London Times Twee Lee Living My Best Life palette. This is incredible. I would compare it in terms of to my high-end palettes the most to my Friendcation palette. The shimmers are not as good, I'll give you that. The mattes are incredible and the shimmers are very good. They're just not as good as the Dose of Colours, but I mean this is like £8, so what do you expect, to be quite honest. Oh, I'm definitely going to start knocking stuff over. Then I have my Urban Decay Born to Run. I use this sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes, very, very rarely, but sometimes. I actually used it in this look here, my original look, and yeah, enjoyed it. It's really good quality. This is one of the best quality Urban Decay palettes I've ever had. And if you like this colour scheme, then honestly, I would really recommend buying it, especially if you can get it with a bit of money off, because everyone likes a bargain, but really good quality palette. This, I cannot believe I forgot to put this in my palette I regret buying video. This is the Stila Happy Hour eyeshadow palette. This is the heaviest palette in the world. This feels like a bar of gold. This is what it looks like, so it's incredibly beautiful, isn't it? It's incredibly beautiful. Look at it. Look at it. Just look at it. This has like 2, 4, 5 like glitters. 1, 2, 3 like shimmers, and then 4 mattes. So the mattes are good quality, but they're very sheer. And then the glitters, I mean, they're just fabulous. You would definitely need a glitter glue because, I mean, look at that. Look at that blue. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I just found it. I couldn't make a look out of this, and I sat down on 2 different occasions to try, and I couldn't make a nice look, and I spent so much money on that palette. I can't remember how much it was off the top of my head, like 50s or 40s, at least high 40s if it wasn't in the 50s. Then my Jouer Tan Lines palette. I did not give this a rave review in my video I used it in. However, so the mattes are pants. They're really sheer. You get almost no color payoff from them. But the shimmers, like this blue and what? I feel sick looking at that, at its sheer beauty, to be quite honest. And this green, like lime green matte is pretty good. And yeah, the rest of the shimmers are bomb, but the mattes were pants. At least there's only 3 mattes in the palette, but wow. That blue, wow. Oh, are we even halfway there? Probably not. Okay, let's try and get a bit quicker. Laura Lee, Nudie Patootie. I love this palette. This palette is really, 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 really good quality. I don't like or follow or watch Laura Lee. It's not that I don't like her, I just don't follow her. And I feel like all of these big YouTubers almost now have had some racist scandal or something like that. And I'm like, why does everyone have to be racist? Like, what is the problem? It's ridiculous. Really good quality palette. Never ever reach for it, but very, very, very good. If you are interested in a Laura Lee palette, I would recommend that one. Oh, Colouring Queen of Hearts. Use this in Makeup I Bought and Forgot Part 1. We're gonna do many more parts of that. Really fabulous quality palette. It just gets lost in my collection, you know how it is. Then we'll move on to Blue Blood. Do you remember how excited I was when this palette came out? And I used it so much. I haven't really reached for it since like the first 2 weeks of owning it, just because you have to want to do a blue look. You can't do like a neutral look with this palette, it has to be blue. So the quality is fabulous. I really love this palette. I love the packaging, although it's so bulky. But yeah, you have to want to do and commit to doing a super blue look to actually use this palette. But I mean, look at its beauty. Look at it. Just look at it. Then we got Blue Blood's little sister, Blood Sugar. I used this in that fail of a tutorial, but this palette has my heart. It has my heart in its hands. It is incredible quality. It is stunning. It is everything. And this would never, ever leave my collection. Oh my, we've still got a heap down here. Oh, I got sent this Diego Dalla Palma Makeup Party palette, and when I swatched it, I had to keep it because the mattes in this palette are some of the most pigmented mattes I've literally ever come across. And then these are all like glitters that you would use like a glitter glue underneath. Yeah, I swatched it. I've swatched it many, many, many times because it's just incredible quality, but I've actually never used it in like a tutorial. And then we have the L'Oreal Very Much Love. I got this to do a full face of drugstore first impressions, which I've still not done. Sorry, there's birds outside. Why are they always so noisy? NYX Ultimate Brights, I imagine. Yeah, fine, whatever. Have much better rainbow palettes, but to be fair, they're mostly high-end, which is why I kind of keep a hold of this one. This is 1000 times better than the Makeup Revolution Marvelous Mattes, let me tell you. And then Milani Bold Obsessions. Very neutral, isn't it? Very neutral. But I'm kind of holding on to it for a full face of Milani. Might get rid of it, I don't know. Oh, this is the only palette that I've ever depotted. This is the, what's it called? Juvia's Place Mini Masquerade. And I kept my favourite 9 shades. Some got quite heavily dented when I depotted them. But yeah, I've not actually reached for this since depotting it. But I kept a hold of it. I don't have any Juvia's Place palettes actually now that I kind of got rid of that one. Palette I regret buying, Smashbox. Something violet, ultraviolet. It's pants, terrible quality, would not recommend. Got my little Hudas. This is Sapphire, done a video on that. Came out looking like a box of tampons. Emerald, gorgeous palette. Gorgeous palette. This top color here is incredible. And then Amethyst, which again, very stunning. Really enjoyed this palette. Oh, Urban Decay Moondust. Yay. Look how much I've hit pan on that. Yep, I love this palette. And whenever it's on sale, I'm always tempted to pick up a new one, but I'm like, Melissa, you don't need it until you've genuinely finished that one. Oh, and I kept this Technic Captivated. Wow. At least I caught it in my hand. I'm just gonna get rid of that because that's just annoyed me. I was gonna compare that to the Huda Beauty palette, but I've decided against it. Okay, Dose of Colours, I Love Sarah E eyeshadow palette. I kind of bought it for this green. I've not used this palette, not once. I've swatched it many times, but I bought it because it was on super sale at Beauty Bay. Oh, this shadow has so much glitter in it. This black shadow is so gorgeous. And I love Dose of Colours formula, which is why I bought it, because I was like, I trust the Dose of Colours formula, so that's why I bought it when it was on super sale. I would not have paid full price for it. I can't remember how much it was full price, but yeah, I wouldn't have paid it anyway. More Maybelline Lemonade. I was really impressed by the quality of this palette. I used it in a video. This is the most beautiful bronze you will ever see in your entire life. It goes on forever. It is stunning. How is that a drugstore eyeshadow? I barely touched my hand. Look at it. Yeah, that's another drugstore palette I really recommend, which is why I would not get rid of it, because I don't actually have that many drugstore eyeshadow palettes I absolutely adore. Then I've got two by Essence. This is Good Day Sydney. There we are, looks like that. And then this is Hello New York. They're pretty good quality, and I think they're pretty cheap, which is why I've kept a hold of them. And then I've got the Zoeva Melody palette. I kind of kept it for that purple in the middle. Never used it. Honestly, I feel like Zoeva eyeshadow quality is pretty bad. I think a lot of people agree, but look at the packaging. Look at it. It's all like holographic and incredible. And I have the matching mirror. Just talk about these two quickly. Carroty Rosé All Day. This was in palette I regret buying video. Not seen it, you should go watch it. Terrible quality. And Jeffree Star Alien. You'll all have seen this by now. Looks like this. Regret buying that palette, I'll tell you that for free. I don't regret it for the quality. I regret it because I just don't like it. Oh, and this is one I regret as well. Sosu, Kaylee, MUA, Urban Bible. Yeah, got not a few arguments, people, but a lot of people were quite upset with me that that was in my palette I regret buying video, but just one of those things. And then this one, Too Faced Tutti Frutti. This is Razzle Dazzle Berry. This is one of the best quality Too Faced palettes I've ever used. Sure, it's a bit limiting because it's only what, 7 shades, but it is so beautiful, such great quality. And I made a really pretty look using it once. Sorry, I'm trying to get the lighting right to actually see the shades. It's beautiful. I'd recommend this if you can find it. And the packaging, look at the packaging. What is that about? It's gorgeous. And it smells. It smells incredible. I've never smelt this palette before. Wow. Oh. This one is kept purely for sentimental reasons. Hamish bought me this when he was in Canada. Look. Never use it, but I keep it for sentimental reasons. I've got no room. I'm gonna have to start stacking these on the floor. BH, Take Me Back to Brazil. I've used this palette a lot. This is a pretty good drugstore, what's it called? Rainbow palette. Pretty good. I like it. I like the quality. Hence why I've not got rid of it before. Coloured Rain Safari Rain palette. Coloured Rain do some of the most stunning, incredible, pigmented, out of this world, wet feeling metallics. I have still not used this palette like in a look. I did sit down one day and try and do a look with it. However, I found that it didn't have any like light skin friendly blending out shades, which I'm not complaining about. Coloured Rain is a black owned brand. She made it so that her colours would show up on deep skin. But all I'm saying is if I use this, I do need to use another palette with it. Maybe I could work in like my, what's it called? Queen of Hearts palette with it or something. But yeah, incredible quality. I just struggle to make like a super cohesive look with it. Then I have the OG Jaclyn Hill palette. Spoiler, did you know they're doing another one? They're doing part 2. Yeah, I've kept a hold of this. I still get request to do tutorials with it because I know a lot of people bought it when it came out, and I think the quality's pretty good. It's not the best, like the metallics are definitely better used wet. What metallics aren't though, to be honest, but I can't really bring myself to get rid of this because I do feel like I was so excited when this came out, and it's only those birds. I just don't trust or like Jaclyn Hill anymore after all of her controversies. I'm just like really over her, but I can't get rid of that palette. And yeah, it was in a Tea by Ali video. Sorry, I'll just let the birds finish. Yeah, it was in like a Tea by Ali video where she was saying that Morphe had, what's the word? Stolen the like trademark for Dip Brow Pomade from ABH, and she was showing these screenshots of the import records, and it was showing a second palette by Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. Why anyone would want to keep making makeup with her, I don't know. Anyway, Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. This is purely sentimental. My auntie bought this for me like the first year I was with Hamish on my birthday, and I couldn't believe she bought this for me because she knew I love makeup, so that gets kept purely for sentimental reasons. I don't use it anymore. And then I've got the Too Faced Pretty Rich palette, which I don't think I've used on my channel. It's got like pressed glitters in it, a lot of neutrals. I've done one look using this palette. It's just a lot of neutrals and then like pressed glitters, so it's not a palette that like brings my creativity to life. And then this is the Pretty Mess by Erica Jane. Is she not like a Real Housewife or something? Looks like this. Horrible layout, I do get that, but I did find the quality very good on this palette. Lots of berry tones, lots of neutrals. Pretty Mess. Urban Decay Kristen Leanne. Never used it, swatched it a lot, but I still have it. And then, oh yeah, the BH Weekend Festival palette, which I bought a while ago, hauled. Said I was going to put in my like giveaway pile, and everyone's like, no, keep it and do a look with it. So I kept it and swatched it, and I've never used it. Which is why it's still got that sleeve on it. Yeah, there's some really pretty colours in it. I just think there's not enough like mattes in it. And then I've got my very beloved Colour Drain Vivid Pigments. This is a Z palette, and all the pigments are like single eyeshadows. These are some of the best quality rainbow eyeshadows you'll ever find. So if you want some really good ones, then I would highly, highly recommend these. Colour Drain know what they're doing, let me tell you that, when it comes to eyeshadows. And then this is a Beauty Bay EYN Brights 4, 8, 12, 16 pan palette. I've swatched it a few times, I've never used it. It doesn't get my heart rate going, but I've got it there. And then this is the You Can Be Aromas palette. I think I bought this on Amazon to do a comparison to the Huda New Nude. That's what it looks like. It was like £8 or something. And yeah, it's not done that video. These, to be honest, I kind of keep for sentimental reasons as well. These are 3 Z palettes full to the brim of ABH singles, and this is when I first got added to their PR list. They send you this like huge bundle of like they send you like their whole back catalogue of makeup, which is incredible. So I've got all of these. I kind of colour coordinated them. This it's kind of like medium neutrals. This is one of the most beautiful shades in the world though. What's it called? Tiger's Eye. It's like an old olive gold. It's really, really pretty. That's that one. And then this was like my neutral mattes, just there. And then these were the more like colourful fun ones. ABH don't do a lot of colourful fun singles, but I will say these stand the test of time. Their single eyeshadows are very, very good quality. And there's nothing wrong with these. Maybe one day I will pick up one of these and use them. But I don't really get excited by single eyeshadows, to be honest. Just, I don't know, I like palettes. I think palettes, you know, kind of tell me what to do. And then I have my BH Desert Oasis. I bought this after getting quite a lot of requests, and quite often when that happens, I'm disappointed. This was incredible. Like, the bronzers were lovely, the highlights were beautiful, the shadows were incredible. It's not an expensive palette and it's really good quality. There's not a whole heap of different looks you could do with the shadows, but very good quality. Was very, very happy with this purchase. Moving on, a couple of Morphes. This is my 35M. Did a tutorial, which I'll link up in the corner, quite recently using it. I've done a few tutorials using this, and I always get requests to do looks with it. It's a really good palette, to be fair. And then I bought its sister, the 35V, and I've used this once, I think. I kind of bought it for the blues, but it's not, it kind of sits a bit unloved in my collection, to be honest, which is a shame. I'll use it again at some point. Guys, we're getting close to the end. This is my Makeup Revolution Rachel Leary palette, which I did again a review on. I'll link it in the corner or down below. I'll forget, but I did it on my channel, so you can just search it. Yeah. I have a huge problem with Makeup Revolution now and their collabs, and they really defend them. Like, when people say it on their Instagram, they're like, oh, we want everyone, I don't know what it is, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, all their eyeshadows now look the same, let's be real. And they keep releasing contour and highlight palettes, which is unnecessary because it's all the same formula, just with different people's names on it. This palette really impressed me, the NYX Swear By It palette. How does it open? There we go. I used it once, and I would never have bought this palette because it's £35 and it's NYX, and who do they think they are? But I was sent this by NYX, and I really liked the quality. Shut up! There's really beautiful greens, really beautiful like rosy tones, lovely yellows and mustards. It's a nice palette. Is it worth £35? I'd just spend £5 more and get a high-end palette. Meh. My beloved Carnival. I should hopefully have the part 2 of this quite soon after this video goes up, I hope. There she is. She's well loved. In fact, the day I'm filming this, I used her yesterday. I'll put the look on screen that I did. Yeah, I'll probably wear this to the Stacey Marie Masterclass, like I said. Look at her. Beautiful. Beautiful. Then I have my Kat Von D Fetish palette, which I again still have not used. I've swatched this a few times. My mother and father-in-law bought this for me for Christmas, along with a heap of other beautiful things from Sephora. This, I don't know, probably gonna put this in my Depop if I ever Depop. I don't know, I hate posting things and packaging them and making sure they don't break, like I explained in my palettes I regret buying. Oh, how many times have I mentioned that video? Yeah, I hate the thought of that. Like, I just can't be bothered. Plus, I can't walk to the post office. But anyway, yeah, I am not that impressed with this palette. I'll be real. I'll be real. I'll be real. Changeable Fantasy palette. Remember this? That video got quite a lot of views. Got so many comments I had to delete on that. This is a dupe, obviously, of the James Charles palette. And I thought it held up incredibly well against that video. And that seller sold out after my video went up. Don't know, could be a coincidence. Could be that a lot of people bought this palette because it was very, very cheap compared to the James Charles, and honestly performed almost identically. So yeah, Changeable Fantasy. You can go back to my video if you want to see me compare the two. And then I've got my Sample Beauty Tectonic palette. I love this lime green here. It's incredible. I've actually only used this once, just because, I don't know, it's It's not that colourful, and I very rarely do like deep grungy looks. I usually do colourful looks, so whilst I feel the quality is really good, I never reach for it. Then I've got two of my favourite palettes in my collection. This is the Morphe 39S. Done a couple of videos with this. It's an incredible palette, and you should all buy it if you need a purple palette. It's wonderful. It's incredible. It is everything I wanted and more. Ah, look, I kept a sleeve to my Nabla one, clearly because I thought that I might get rid of it at some point. Melissa. And then I've got my James Charles Morphe palette, which I love to the moon and back. I think it's very good quality. Go away. I don't follow James Charles, don't particularly like him, because I don't feel like I'd get on with him in real life. Can't really watch his videos without wanting to fall out the window. But I love his palette. I love it a lot. I love it. My voice is going. Need a drink of Monster. Okay, we've only got one more. Oh, one more palette. This, dear amigos, is the P. Louise, the Secret Sinner palette. The packaging on this is actually chunkier than the Blood Sugar palette. It has like this acrylic top with feathers in it. It's the most extra packaging I've ever seen in my entire life. The colours are really nice. It performs very, very, very well. I've used it a couple of times. What palette reminds me of this? Oh, it's one that I decluttered from Lick and Lash. Really good quality. It's all mattes, all mattes. But yeah, I would never get rid of this. I love this a lot, and actually they sent me this in PR, which I was so thankful for. And yeah, I'm gonna now attempt to restack everything in my drawer. That is my palette collection. So yeah, I'm gonna stack them in my drawer, and I might get rid of some, and what I get rid of I will show you, and I might not get rid of any, so don't hold me to that. And then I'll show you kind of like the ones that I put in my like holders to make them look nice. But yeah, I'll stack them in. Not gonna do it on camera because you'll have to look at my mug without any makeup on. Which I don't mind, you see that all the time, but yeah, still my jammies. I haven't brushed my hair, so give me 1 minute and we'll carry on. Okay, so what you're seeing up here is my little dividers. So I've just got all my ABHs in one because they fill it up bar one slot, which is really annoying. And then this one just has my Nablas, my Hudas, my favourite palette in the world, and this little Tutti Frutti just because I think it's pretty to have on display. And then this one contains all of my Colourpop eyeshadows. These two sit up on top of my makeup drawers over on my table behind you, and then this one sits in my background. I don't know if you'll notice it, recognize it. And then if we move to the drawer, I mean the drawer it's chaotic. I don't really know what else I can do, to be honest. This whole front row is looking lush, like it's all in a nice neat row. This back one's here, they're just too big to stand up, and then I've got more kind of standing up here, and some just squashed in here, and then ones at the back that don't fit either. So I don't want two drawers of eyeshadow palettes though. I refuse to have more than one drawer of eyeshadow palettes. It's so unnecessary. I do have one more of these holders that I could put other palettes in, and maybe I should do that, but yeah, that's it really. I actually haven't counted how many there is. Maybe I should, and then I'll show you what ones I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of a few, but not very many. So it comes out at 109 eyeshadow palettes. I honestly didn't realise I owned that many. Well, that's a bit of a shock. It's not like, I keep saying other people have more, but to me, this is too many. Should I declutter? Should I? That's the question. Okay, so what I've done, just on my own without filming it, is, let me turn that down a pinch. I put a lot of my Makeup Revolution palettes in my spare holder. So now I've got 4 holders holding them. This drawer is a lot less empty, see I don't have any of that stuff at the back there. In fact, hold on. I've just put my 2 Sentimental ones down there, my Urban Decay and my Sephora. Those ones are too big to stand up, and this is now just in one neat line. I'll do a wee overhead pan, and then I'll show you what I'm getting rid of. This pile is what I'm gonna declutter. I'm either gonna give it to my niece or my sister, whatever, so my little dubious place, I've never reached for it. That massive Makeup Revolution one, the Revolution Creative Volume thing. These 2 tin ones, because I've only swatched them. The Beauty Bay one, because I just don't use it. The Diego Dal Palma, I might put that in my other pile. The You Can Be Huda one, because I've got the Makeup Revolution dupe. The James Charles dupe, because I do have his palette, so I don't need that. Also the Rachel Leary one, because I just didn't think, I don't need it in my collection. I did think it was alright, but I don't need it. The little Technic one that broke. And then these 4 Makeup Revolution Reloaded ones, because I'm never going to use them. One of them is unopened, so that can go in my like normal giveaway pile. And then in my pile that I might possibly depop, I'm not sure if I will, I've got the Diego Della Palma, the Smashbox, Alien, Kat Von D Fetish. Carroty can go in that pile because that's not worth very much. The Zoeva Melody, that can go in that pile. The Kaylee Sosu, Kristen Leanne, the Too Faced Pretty Mess one because I think it was limited edition, and then it's not an eyeshadow palette but it's going in this pile, the Mitchell Sub-Zero, because I hate that. So I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Getting rid of 23. Hey, that's not that bad. Sorry, that potential Depop pile, but definitely decluttering pile also is the Nabla Poison Garden and what's it called? Secret Palette, because I never used them and someone else could and would. So yeah, these are going in that pile as well. I think the only way these would go on Depop, being entirely honest, is if someone wanted to buy all of these as a bundle. So if that person is you and you're in the UK, or you can be international but you'd have to pay shipping because it costs a fortune. If you want all of these as a bundle, then just DM me on Instagram and give me an offer. Give me an offer, you know. None of these were PR, so I can sell them, and that's not an issue. So yeah, that is it. Let me just do my overhead pans and that'll be me. So that is it from me today, making an appearance. Aren't you lucky? Yeah, I think I've done okay. I've certainly filtered it down, and I didn't actually expect to get rid of any today, but I'm definitely getting rid of them. They're going, they're not slipping back in my drawer, I promise. I'm proud of myself actually a little bit. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up because it really helps me out. Also leave me a comment down below because I do reply to all my comments, and subscribe because it's a polite thing to do. Oh, you never see that. That's my filming. That's where I film. See? That's what I look at. It's not as pretty as my background. Thank you so much as well to my Patreons for supporting me in a financial manner. It boggles my brain, and we just had our giveaway last week for a gift card because we hit 50 Patreons, so our next one will be if we hit 75 because I feel like that's another milestone. So if you do want to become a Patreon, the link is down below in the description box. But if you don't want to or can't become a Patreon, please know that I value you watching my videos and commenting or liking, doing the whole thing. Just being subscribed is a support to me, so I appreciate everyone so much. And on that note, I'm gonna go watch last night's Love Island now, because I kind of forgot to watch it last night. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in my next one.